Welcome everyone to this edition of the Biker Angle. It's Friday, August 17th. It's raining out here in Chicago, which sucks. And today we're going to be talking about some members got busted down in Florida for distributing methamphetamines. And we're also going to be, I got a request from a subscriber if I can give some commentary on what's going on in Pennsylvania with them priests out there molesting kids and shit, them pieces of shit. But back to the methamphetamine stuff that's going on down in Florida. You know, this ain't the 1970s, and this sure the hell ain't the 80s or 90s. It's 2018. The shit that people used to get away with back in those days, it's no longer. So, I do not understand why people can't fucking see that, man. Technology's everywhere. And methamphetamine, for one, that's a fucking shit drug. What the hell you want to get involved with that shit, man? And that's, you know, that's what I never understood, is the risk always outweighs the rewards in that fucking business. And, you know, maybe one of these days people are smarten up and see meth and all that kind of freaking production ain't way to go. You know, being an outlaw biker or whatever what have you ain't about going out there and slinging dope or any of that crap, man. It's about being outside the mainstream, man, doing what the hell you want to do, party, you know, live life up. But when you start getting into methamphetamine trafficking, man, that's some bullshit right there. Because that shit eventually freaking gets in the hands of kids, or it destroys families. Why? For a buck? Come on, man, really. But this from the Daytona News Journal. Members of the Pagans motorcycle club were among 16 people, most from Volusia and Flagler counties, included Daytona Beach and Palm Coast, who were charged with conspiring to distribute meth, according to an indictment unsealed and announced Thursday by the U.S. Attorney's Office in Orlando. The defendants are accused of conspiring to distribute large quantities of methamphetamine to individuals and groups in Central Florida, and include members of the Pagans motorcycle club, an outlaw motorcycle gang, according to the press release from the office of the Maria Chapa Lopez, the U.S. Attorney for the Middle District of Florida. The indicted Pagan members were identified by the U.S. Attorney's Office as Michael Clutch Andrews, 33, Andrew Setti Sheltler, 33, both of Palm Coast, and Brian Sledge Burt, 47, of Port Orange. They were indicted with conspiring to distribute 50 grams or more of methamphetamine. You know, there's supporters in this freaking shit and others. Foster, along, because they name them, and I'm not going to go through all the names. Foster, along with Burkhart, were also charged with distribution of 50 or more grams of methamphetamine. Cindy Bledsoe, 30, of Daytona Beach, was indicted on charge of conspiracy to distribute 50 grams or more. Sand, 55, was charged with 5 grams or more, and it goes and goes. If convicted on all counts, Kirchhoff, Andrews, Shetler, Bledsoe, Hernandez, and the rest of the crew are facing a maximum of 40 years in the joint. Burt was arrested August 3rd in a separate state case after the members of the Pagans became upset when they were not allowed into the one-horse saloon, 139 Orange Avenue, because they were gang members, a report says. The Pagans surrounded the building, according to an arrest report, and police arrived. They saw 6 bikers wearing the vests and blazing with the Pagans on the back, riding off. Burt was among the bikers stopped. He was charged with carrying a concealed weapon and possession of meth after police said they found a .45 cal handgun and 3 knives on his motorcycle, as well as meth. A report states Burt did not have a license to carry concealed. Exactly 1 month earlier, on July 3rd, Burt was arrested after police stopped him for an alleged traffic violation and found him with a .357 cal Glock tucked in his waistband. Police said he also had meth and oxycodone pills. Burt was charged with carrying concealed weapon, possession of meth, and possession of oxycodone. Burt has entered pleas of not guilty to all charge. And Andrews was arrested on March 16th by Daytona Beach police, who said they stopped him because he was speeding and found he had a suspended driver's license. Police also said they found a pistol in his waistband, but he did not have a concealed carry permit. So, question is that couple $1,000 worth 40 years in the joint, not to say the tens of thousands of dollars that, is going to have to go through lawyer fees and shit like that. And you'll probably have a rat or two pop out of this shit. That always does. So, again, question is this shit worth it? I've always said, and you know what? I'll always stick by it. It's always, you can make more money legitimately without the hassles of lawyers or cops. Legit. You can do that, man. You can make more money legit. Instead of going around slinging the shit, man. That's not what an outlaw biker is, again. So, maybe people are smarting up there. Do I think they will? Fuck no. They're never going to smarten up. They think there's an image that they got to carry. And that's the farthest from the truth. And again, it's maybe, one or two or even 5 or 6 people in a chapter or a club that does this kind of shit. But when they do it, they bring the heat down on everybody, man. They're going to bring the heat down on, the Pagans right now are facing the heat. They had it up in New Jersey. Now they got it down in Florida. And the feds are just ravaging their membership. So again, is it worth it? Is it about biking and brotherhood, or it's not about biking and brotherhood? A lot of people out there, when the media or the cops, go around saying, well, motorcycle gang. No, it's a motorcycle club. Well, you know what? When you're distributing all kinds of fucking methamphetamines, you might want to rethink that definition, man. You're either going to be a club member or you're going to be a gangster. Insane Throttle's always been neutral and is always called it to the point. If you're out there, you're a club, you're enjoying brotherhood and shit like that, cool. But when you're going around slinging, or you're out there, beating on fucking people, or you're shooting on people, what else is it other than a gang? You can't mince words, man. You can't have it both ways. So, but that's up to the clubs to decide what they're going to do, man. I'm just seeing it from an independent standpoint, and you know what? When the civilians see this kind of shit on TV and the media, you wonder why they get the way they do. Moving on, this is kind of a funny story, man. I really like this shit. A U.S. vigilante took the law into his own hands in hilarious fashion when he tied a suspected thief to a pole in Dublin city centre. Eyewitnesses were left in hysterics after the suspected thief was strapped to a pole on Moore Street, one of Ireland's busy shopping centres, on Tuesday evening. He was then arrested and taken to the local police station. An eyewitness claims the tourist from Florida, way to go, man, beer up, stopped the suspected thief in his tracks and gave him a few digs for his troubles, leaving him with a few bruises. The holiday maker, that's what they call it over there for vacation, it's called holiday, then used a thick camping rope to strap the dazed and surprised man to a pole. Police were called to the scene at 6:30 p.m., but before they arrived, revelers in the Irish capital wasted little time in snapping pictures of the embarrassed suspected thief and posting them online. Eyewitnesses says revelers were left in fits of laughter as officers arrested the man in front of dozens of onlookers. Man, I bet he felt like a shithead. One told local news website Dublin Live that the U.S. tourist was a big man who had been outside a shop with a Harley-Davidson motorcycle at the time when the suspected thief made his unfortunate move. That's right, Ireland. Don't fuck with Florida, man. He claimed the local men then approached him and tried to take his bag and phone, but I'd say he regrets it now. You think? He won't be doing that again anytime soon. Pictures taken by onlookers showed the alleged thief dressed in a red shirt and blue jeans. They show him being manhandled by the tourist, who was sporting leather motorcycle gear. The man is then pictured tied to the pole, while another snapshot shows him being led away from the police. Again, don't fuck with the U.S., man. We get kind of finicky about people trying to steal our shit. But this next story, this is the one that one of the readership asked me to comment on. And it's a goddamn freaking tragedy, if you ask me. You know, this is something, you know, I actually left the Catholic Church over shit like this. You know, all these accusations coming out and them never doing no shit about it, always covering the shit up. And, you know, let's get to the story. The Vatican issued a statement Thursday in response to a Pennsylvania grand jury report on clerical sex abuse, expressing shame and sour over the report findings. And I'm pissed off about this one. Quote, regarding the report made public in Pennsylvania this week, there are two words that can express the feelings faced with those horrible crimes, shame and sorrow, Burke said. The Holy See treats with great seriousness the work of the investigating grand jury of Pennsylvania and lengthy interim report it has produced. The Holy See condemns unequivocally the sex abuse of minors, Burke stated. The Pennsylvania grand jury released its 884-page report listing the names of 300 priests, deacons, and lay people accused of sexual abuse over the past 70 years, many of whom are no longer alive, and alleges a systematic cover-up by members of the church hierarchy. Quote, the abuse described in the report are criminal and moral, reprehensible, said Mr. Burke. Those acts were betrayals of trust that robbed survivors of their dignity and their faith. The church must learn hard lessons from its past, and there should be accountability for both abusers and those who permit the abuse to occur. Yeah, you think so? You know, Pennsylvania is hard on them because that's one of the biggest dioceses in the United States is Pennsylvania. You know, those people grew up thinking that, trusting the church and going all word by them. But 300 freaking people, man. How many kids did they destroy? How many lives did they destroy? And the Vatican, all they can say is they express sorrow. Man, fuck that. It's time to do something. It really is. One of the things that, as an ex-Catholic, I believe, was their hypocrisy. If they would only let priests marry, maybe some of this shit wouldn't happen. The only reason why they went to priests can't marry was because in the medieval days, they didn't want priests, getting them divorces or somebody coming after the church property and blah, blah, blah. But this shit's disgusting. It really is. And they wonder why people are leaving the church right now. It's absolutely disgusting. How can you have any faith in the people? You can't. And to go out there and preach, the word of Christ, and at the same time over here molesting a freaking kid. Wasn't Christ who said those who are going to get punished the most is the one that harms those little kids? It's just amazing. It's a sad story, and we'll see if they're going to be doing anything about it. Personally, I don't think they will, because you know what? They're too arrogant, and they think they're too powerful, and they can wave the storm. But that's one of the main reasons why people are leaving, Hopefully they can get it turned around. I don't think they ever will. But hopefully those that are dead right now named in that report are sitting there in hell burning like a motherfucker. Hopefully they're sitting there burning. I hope they burn every second and see those kids' faces that they tortured and ruined. Sex molest, I see, maybe it's the internet that we're able to see it more, because in the when I was growing up, we really didn't hear about it. That's, again, because the internet allows us to know more things. But child molesters, man, I don't think they deserve, and go to trial. As soon as a guilty verdict's fucking reached, go medieval on their ass, man, torture them. Then kill them, give them a nice slow death. Because they're subhuman. They're not human. They're not human at all. They got no rights after you know what? After they're found guilty, they got no rights at all. Kill them. Plain and simple. Save me, save the rest of the taxpayers a lot of money by killing them. Because you know what? Them people killed those kids' freaking lives right there doing that shit to them. They really did. So, with that, the new book comes out September 1st, and boy, does it has some doozies. It's going to be available on Amazon and all major retailers and all bookstores and all that good shit. So September 1st, it's going to come out on ebook, and I was just told yesterday it will be out paperback, available for order on Amazon and all that kind of good shit. So don't forget this Sunday, I think it's 1 o'clock. We're going to have our first YouTube Live, and we'll do some questions, answers, whatever, and have some fun there. But with that, enjoy your weekend, guys. I'll see you tomorrow. Hopefully we'll have some better stories that ain't so, downers. We'll have some uplifting ones. Because that's the one thing I hate about doing all this stuff, is it's always the bad about the motorcycle club scene. And not a lot of good out there that gets reported, or, it's just a shame. But talk to you guys later.